everybody, Miss Alyssa here, and this week we are talking about how to use different visuals to support your child's speech and language skills. So one of my favorite things to use, and this can look a lot of different ways, is pacing boards. So I have some that are different sizes. This one is 4 squares, and then I have one that's 5, 3, and 2. And I use these for a variety of different ways. One way that I like to use it is when we are working with kids trying to use more words in their sentences. So depending on what level they are, if they are saying 2-word sentences and I want to bump it up to 3, I would use mine with 3 squares, and that kind of just gives them a cue. And I often have them use their pointer finger also as they're saying their sentence to count how many words they're using. So we might be describing what one of our toys are doing. If we're playing dollhouse, we might say, "Mama feed baby," or "Baby eat milk." And again, if you want to keep expanding or depending on what level the child is at, you might use ones that are a little longer and have more words. I like to have these laminated too, so they can be used with dry erase markers, because sometimes I will use them and I'll draw things on them to give the child a little bit of extra support. So if I want them to be using I want sentences, I might write with my dry erase marker I and want, and then they just have to fill in the last part. So then they have that as the extra reminder for I want juice or I want apple. So that's the way I use it with language. I also use it with speech sounds as well. So I really like using the 2, the 3, and the 4 for multi-syllabic words. So 4-syllable words, 3-syllable words, 2-syllable words. Again, depending on what you're working on. If we're working on 2-syllable words, I would use the 2 squares. So we can work on kitty or hot dog or behind. And same thing with the ones that are longer. The 3 one, we might tap it out, banana. Again, just giving them that visual can be a little bit helpful in them understanding what they're supposed to do, and it gives them a little extra support for saying those multisyllabic words. Another one fun way to use these when working on multisyllabic words, and you can even do it how I was describing before with having each square represent a word in their sentence, is use it as a smash mat. So you can use Play-Doh, and you just put like a little ball of Play-Doh on each one, and then it would be laying down, and then they can smash the Play-Doh as they say it. So they could say banana, and that gives them an even extra little support of that tactile cue, having that feeling under them, and it's really motivating to be able to smash the Play-Doh also. We can also use these for kids. Some kids, they don't say the final sound in words, so they might say bow instead of boat, or ma instead of mud. I really like using these for those kids also, where I'll spell out the word. So I would write M-U-D, and I might even make the D a little bit more bold, or underline it, or make it a different color as another way to kind of draw their attention to it. And we can slide our finger across mud. So that can be helpful with those kiddos as well. So that is how I use pacing boards. Mine are kind of, the ones I have out right now are just kind of basic with the white squares. What you can also do to make it more motivating for your child or your client is have something they like printed on there. So you can do, 5 smiley faces, or unicorns, or someone from their favorite show like SpongeBob or Sky or Gecko. And that can just be a little more motivating too, because then they're seeing that. And that also reminds me of another way I like to use these for kids that might be talking really, really fast, and it's making it hard to understand them, or maybe they're a little bit mumbly and we're not really hearing the separation between the words, and we need to pause, just that little bit in between the words to make our speech more understandable, this can be really helpful for those kiddos as well. You might need some that are a little longer than 5, but again, then they would kind of put their finger on it and tap out each word that they're saying to help to slow them down. So I hope I gave you some good ideas today. Comment below if you have any other ideas on how to use pacing boards or other visuals that you like to use with your clients or your children. Thanks, see you next time.